Welcome back to the eighth video of this series. So in the last video, we have extracted title from name. In this video, we are going to extract some meaningful feature from ticket. So let's go ahead with it. Now let's just explore this particular variable. Just selecting this column and saying Control Shift L, and let's see what's there in this variable, right? So you'll notice there is a set of numbers, right? And then you have characters, right? Characters along with a ticket number or something like that. But with also that, you'll also observe that you have dot and slash available along with it, and it's basically recurrent over all of these fields, right? So wherever there is slash, there is slash dot available, right? So what we're going to try to do is, the combination that I see unfolding here is that we have a number as one of the pattern. Then we have some character, right? Some character and number, right? And what is there in this in some of the cases is that you have character plus dot plus slash in some combination, right? And it's going to be OR scenario. Somewhere it's present, somewhere it's not present. So what we're going to do is basically we're going to clean this dot and dash so that we only have two formats, number and character with a number, right? So that way you'll have limited amount of categories available, and then let's see if that limited categories that we have from ticket, will it be useful or not, right? So for now, let's check how many unique values are present within this, right? So if I copy this, paste it in a new sheet, special values, increase it. So I have around, so with this particular selection, I have around 1309, and I'm going to say data and say remove duplicates. Say OK, and you'll see that 380 duplicate values are present. However, 930 unique values are there. So we got to still reduce this 930, and we're going to do this reduction by basically, uh, you know, having number as one category, all the number tickets as one category, and rest of the character plus number as its own separate category. So to do that, what we're going to do is like we did for title, we're basically going to introduce a title intermediate here. First, let me remove this. Sorry, we're going to introduce a ticket intermediate. We'll begin with is equal to if ticket, oh, I'm sorry, if the ticket is a number, right, then we're going to put it as XXX. Else, what we're going to do is we're going to take this value, and wherever there is a slash or dot, we're going to replace it with a blank, right? So we can say substitute, right? We have this particular text. The old text is going to be slash, okay, and close the bracket. The new text, sorry, is going to be blank, and we're going to close the bracket, close the if statement also. So basically you can see that the slash is basically getting replaced by blank. And if I drag it down, you'll be seeing that wherever there is a number, we are able to extract, get XXX. But if there is any character such as slash, we are able to, replace it with a blank and just have the, uh, you know, alphanumeric characters here. Just have the character part of it along with a number, right? The only catch is now we are not able to replace the dot. So to do that, what I can do is I can take this substitute again within a substitute, right? So I'm going to say substitute of this old text with a dot, and then replace that dot with a blank. So basically I'm using substitute within substitute to remove two characters. So I'm going to drag this formula down, and you will see that two of those characters are removed. I can simply drag this formula down, and you'll notice that now we will not have any sequence, any value within this that has a dot, right? There's nothing that is having dot and then nothing having slash. So let's see how many categories we were able to reduce with this particular idea. So let me just go to this sheet. Let's paste it here. Sorry, paste special values, right? And I'm going to say data, remove duplicates, right? So with this, I was able to reduce the number of categories to 2 to 6 from a 9 930 or right. So basically even 2 to 6 is a high category. So what we're going to do is we're just going to extract the character part of it, and then the number part we're going to ignore it, right? So that way we'll try to even reduce the this particular series further, right? So I have to have another intermediate step. And in this, what we're going to do is just extract the first two characters from this particular values here, right? And it's going to be left of this particular value, comma, find of a space within this, right? So I'm just going to get only the character part of it. Close the bracket and drag the formula down. The only problem is wherever there is XXX, it's going to give you a issue. So what we can do here is that I can simply replace this with a space here. So even this will become in the same format and I'll basically get this particular value, right? So I got this ticket intermediate. Now let's see if we have further reduced the categories from here. Let's say paste special values and say data remove duplicates, right? Now we have 38 unique values remaining, which is a much more manageable um, set. So let's see if we can get a count from this, right? And if we go here, we're basically going to take this two columns and create a name on top of it. Say top row and say OK. And let's see what we get here. So we'll say count ifs of ticket intermediate 2, comma, this particular value here. Say OK and do the spread, right? Now with this particular sequence, we are able to get a lot better sequence. However, there are so many sequences where we have basically one character and there is one value missing also. So let's see what's the problem with that particular one. Okay, okay, there is some values missing. Yeah, because there is something called as line, which is why it is not in the same character. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm just going to rename this to line. So that becomes the other category, and I'm just going to put this as line. So that way we are now able to extract the ticket. Uh, so that way we are able to extract a limited set of categories within ticket. However, this is still not sufficient. So what I'm going to do is basically combine anything that has a 1, right, into a one single category. So wherever there is a single value, what we are going to do is we're going to make it into one category. So to do that, what we can do is if this value is equal to 1, then single, else we're going to get this value, right? So that way, wherever there is 1 available there, it's going to be recategorized under single. So that way, This is going to be the one that we'll finally use. So that way, if we reduce, paste the values here and say data remove duplicates, you'll have a shorter number of categories to be used, right? And this is a lot better than the 930 we had here, 226 we had here, or let's say we having 36 here, right? So let's do that, get these values available there. So I'm just going to use a VLOOKUP on this particular table here. To do that, I can say ticket underscore one is equal to VLOOKUP. Look up this particular value within this column, F4, comma 2, comma exact match, right? And I have this value. So now I have another variable which I can then use within my modeling techniques. So I'm just going to use this particular formula on top of it. And as we have noticed that we now have so many variables extracted or cleaned from the original set of variables that we had, right? And some of them need not require some cleaning. So for example, P class does not require, so this can go as is within that modeling technique. So I'm just going to mark this also as green. That is the one that we're going to take in, right? And rest of them we have done something or the other to extract it. In the next video, what we're going to do is look at these variables and then create one hot coding for all of them, or rather create dummies before we import it into R or Python.